afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, May 25th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce, back from Double or Nothing. You know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And let's get into the news. Bayley has hinted at answering Indy Hartwell's open challenge at Slammiversary, which is the next big TNA pay-per-view. I'm expecting Bayley to do a lot of things. She's currently in Mexico right now doing AAA, because I really believe that Bayley will be All Elite next year. We got an update on LA Knight, and he's just the guy that they don't have a story for. They don't know what to do with him. He's not injured, no contract disputes. Their booking is just bad. The lawsuit against ICW has picked up in court. According to PW Insider, the lawsuit was originally filed in 2024 by Rachel Price, who alleged she suffered serious injuries from working at an ICW event in June 2022. She claims that there was an announcement during the event instructing people parked in a nearby lot to move their vehicles, and according to the lawsuit, she exited the venue through a side door to move her car and allegedly fell at least 3 feet due to poor lighting, missing railings, and the lack of signage, and no employee stationed near the exit. She's looking at getting $75,000 in restitution. The Ronda Rousey Gina Carano fight pulled in huge numbers on Netflix. They pulled in about an average of 12.4 million viewers. The card featured Nate Diaz, it featured Mike Perry, it featured Francis Ngannou, and of course Gina and Ronda. Stupidly, because the WWE are idiots, are quietly making changes to the tag division after major exits. They are looking to bolster the division. But they released the New Day, the Motor City Machine Guns, the Wyatts, and 2 members of the MFT. Meanwhile, you split up DIY. Fraxium barely gets used. The War Raiders are sitting at home. Your tag division sucks, and it's all on you. MJF has recanted his statement about Carlos Silva, calling him a dumb motherfucker. He said the truth is, this is MJF's words, that he didn't want AEW talent to go up against TNA talent because he thought that our boss essentially put Collision against TNA, and he's new to this business. We were preempted. He didn't know that, so because he didn't know that, he got offended, and he pulled off a couple matches. And MJF is just sticking up for his guys and sticking up for the company. And he's right. And Carlos Silva is learning on the fly. It is very much believed that Baron Corbin will be returning to the WWE. Looks like he's wrapping up some allegations. We will see what goes on with that. Ludwig Kaiser has been arrested. He was arrested on a Florida battery charge. He was in Mexico. He came back, and we will wait to see what happens. And another dumb move, any talent that is currently contracted under the WWE ID deal can no longer use their independent names, and they have to use their WWE names. That's just, in my opinion, just bad. Asuka says her presence became taken for granted, and she's uncertain about her future. She says she's been with the WWE for 10 years. I felt like it was just a given, and that nothing lasts forever. Everything is finite. So she'll see, but she's going to be out for the time being. Rey Mysterio has been announced as the new general manager for AAA, and Savio Vega is replacing him on commentary. Mick Foley, the God, the hardcore legend, is all elite, and great news. He was on the pre-show buy-in for Double or Nothing. He even got into it with Darby and MJF. The Godfather has signed a new Legends deal, re-upping with the WWE. Good news for him. And on the injury side of things, we just got Trey McGill reveals an update on his broken patella tendon. He's healed. He says he'll see you soon, but he also deleted the post, so we'll see. And in the worst news of all time, the love of my life, Willow Nightingale, has a shoulder injury, and she was not only pulled from the Owen Hart Cup, but had to relinquish the TBS Championship. I'm hurt. I'm sad. We don't know how long she'll be out. well, we got to move on. That is the news, and we should be right back with the week in review. All right, let's get into the week in review. You know how we do. We start off with Monday Night Raw. This is the quote-unquote go-home show for Saturday night's main event. This show gets a fist. We open up with Adam Pearce saying that Fatu should have been fired for what happened last week, and Roman said he was calling him out. Fatu entered and demanded Roman face him. The Usos intervened and confronted him, and Fatu fought them off until Roman got involved and took all three of them to take down Fatu, who then declared tribal combat, and Roman accepted. This will be going down, I think, in Clash in Italy. Our next match, well, the first match was the street fight between Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Finn attacked early with weapons before JD countered with a kendo stick, and they brawled through the crowd. JD hit a moonsault off some equipment. Balor countered with a drop kick through a table. Instead of the coup de grace, Dom tried to get interfering, leading to JD superplexing Balor through the table, but Finn recovered, attacked Dom, and dropped JD with the coup de grace. After the match, Dom tried getting involved, but Finn stood tall and scared him away. We're backstage with Seth, who said he's got no allies and he had to end the division. He challenged any member, specifically calling out Braun Breaker. And Seth questioned who Braun Breaker really was and said tonight would be Braun's chance to prove himself. We then got Soul and Becky. Soul said she was grateful for the opportunities despite not winning yet, because I don't think she's won a match with the main roster yet. Becky interrupted, saying Soul hadn't faced the best until she faced her, so Soul challenged her to a match at Saturday Night's main event. Becky declined for tonight, but agreed for Saturday Night's main event, and Soul vowed to take the title and Becky's soul. We then move over to the Vision, and they're talking about the Street Profits and Braun Moxel. So they're getting their ducks in a row because they're ready to take over. Then we had El Grande Americano OG. Pretty much the Americanos and their squads taking on each other in a fun match. This is all about their AAA rivalry. But ultimately, new Americano and his squad won the match. We were backstage with Scream Mode, which is a horrible name. Brie and Paige are women's tag team champions, and this was all about sponsors and whatever. This was just absolutely dumb. LA Knight confronted the Usos about their behavior, and he's not with what's going on with them and Roman. The Page was interviewed, and he's getting ready for his IC title match, and he said he'll put the fear in Penta. The Judgment Day were backstage, and Liv hyped him up for the tag team title match, and we go into the tag team title match. Raquel slid Roxanne the belt, but Brie countered and rode up for the win. This match went 11 minutes. It was whatever. I want so much more for Roxanne Perez. After the match, Liv attacked Paige and Brie. Lara and Bayley ran in to make the save. Bayley suplexed Liv to end the attack. And now Paige and Brie will be putting the titles on the line at Saturday night's main event. LA Knight told Seth that he's going to get stomped out tonight and that he wouldn't get any help from him. Seth thanked Dawkins for understanding last week, and Seth said he needed to focus. And we transitioned to Oba. And Oba's getting ready for his open challenge, and he's ambushed by a returning Brock Lesnar, who drops him with 4 F5s. So we go backstage, and Pierce is like, yo, I filed retirement paperwork for Brock. What's going on? And Heyman was like, listen, here's a contract for Clash in Italy. Brock has already signed it. Get over to sign it. Dawkins said that they didn't need to be friends to fight the Vision, talking to Seth, and Montez ain't with it. We go into our, I'm assuming this is not the main event. This is the main event. Seth versus Austin Theory. Logan Paul, obviously, accompanied Austin Theory. This was a fine match. Seth attacked before the bell and dominated early. Theory targeted Seth's ankle and controlled the pace, and Logan interfered, helping Theory gain near falls. Seth fought through his injury, hit the pedigree for the win. After the match, Logan attacked Seth, and Dawkins ran in for the save. Ford joined in, hit a dive, Never talking to his partner like, yo, we not here to help Seth. Breaker speared forward and then attacked Dawkins, and then he hit Seth with the spear to end the show. Raw was 2.5 hours long and only had 4 matches. A lot of talking. We go over to Dynamite, and this was the go home show for Double or Nothing. This show gets a thumb up. We pretty much had the build for Stadium Stampede. That's what we started off with the Bucks and Jericho apologizing to each other for the past shows. Remember, Jericho attacked the Bucks' dad, and he, put their beef behind. They joked about names, Y2 Jacksons or the Bucks of Jericho. But we were good, and then started off with our 6-man tag match with the Bucks taking on Mark Davis, Andrade, and Ricochet, and an absolutely fun match. The only reason this didn't make match of the week probably because the other matches were just so good, but this was a really fun match. The Dogs interfered. Clark Connors interfered. David Finlay with the Shillelagh. Andrade dropped Matt with the DM, and Davis, Ricochet, and Andrade win, which then led to all of the members of the respective teams for Stadium Stampede getting involved, which ultimately the faces stood tall. Fun way to open up Dynamite. We're backstage with Darby, who was being interviewed, and he said shaving MJF bald would destroy his ego, and he told Speedball he'll do anything to keep the title tonight. Our next match was Anything Goes, ladies and gentlemen. Tommaso Ciampa, Mark Briscoe, an absolutely crazy, brutal match. They used kendo sticks and chairs and chains and pipes and cookie sheet and tables and barbed wire. Briscoe stapled barbed wire to a table to use as a friend, and then used the fire extinguisher. Briscoe hit the J drill off the apron to the table, top rope elbow drop to get the W. Briscoe celebrated. He was definitely bleeding, and Ciampa was ringside, laid out, but the crowd loved this. I loved it. Prince Nana interrupted. It was Shivani who was supposed to be interviewing, I think, Swerve. Swerve came out, said, look, he's taking the power. He's going to take the Ring of Honor title. Bandido attacked him, got the upper hand on Swerve, dropped him with a running dive, and Nana helped Swerve get away. Then we got the worst news all year. Y'all know Willow Nightingale injured, shoulder injury, relinquishes. Not only is out of the Owen Hart Cup, but relinquishes the TBS Championship. And with her being out, in my opinion, the tournament is now up for grabs. It was kind of a foregone conclusion that she was probably going to win, and the bracket was updated showing Alex Windsor's opponent will be a wild card. Then we had Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly Continental Championship Eliminator match. And all Kyle O'Reilly's got to do is survive or win, and he gets a title shot. And they went back and forth. They went the full 20 minutes. Kyle applied the ankle lock as time expires, so he earns the title shot. And O'Reilly demanded the rematch with no time limit. And Mox, who could barely stand, accepted and said this is game 7. So this is like the 3rd straight win Kyle O'Reilly had over Mox. We got a 8-woman tag match. Athena, Tekla, Julia Hart, Sky Blue taking on Thunder Rosa, Mina Shirakawa, Alex Windsor, and Jamie Hayter. Kind of getting us involved for not only the Women's Championship match at Double or Nothing, but also the Owen Hart Cup. Mina attack blocked Athena's dive and hit a DDT at ringside. The Birds attacked Sky Blue on the outside, and Julia Hart missed it. Thunder Rosa behind the refs back, allowing Tekla to get the win. The refs regrouped, and Rosa was checked on, and Alex Windsor stared down her future opponent. Kevin Knight and Speedball were backstage. Knight wished Speedball luck against Darby, and Speedball said he wanted a title shot. Kevin Knight said he wanted a title shot if he won. Knight encouraged him, but let's go get it. Darby put the championship on the line in our main event. Him versus Speedball. Fun match. Speedball immediately attacked as MJF joined us on commentary. Darby hit a Scorpion Death Drop on the barricade, and then Speedball landed a spinning hook kick. Ultimately, Darby got the win with a coffin drop, followed by the Scorpion Death Lock and Speedball tap. After the match, Knight told Speedball to keep his head up, praised his effort. Knight told Darby to humble MJF and shave him bald. MJF attacked Darby and tried to save him, but Darby got the upper hand, tried to shave MJF, who fled. We go into Collision, which is a 1-hour special Collision since we had the pay-per-view on Sunday. No Collision on Saturday, so this is a 1-hour Collision. which was also the Double or Nothing Go Home show. Speedball recovered in the ring as Knight praised him in Darby, and just rehashing what happened in the end. Dynamite bled into Collision. So the attack. Our first match of the evening was Will Ospreay versus Shibata, and I love both these dudes. This was a fantastic match. Not on par with I know these two dudes can do, because they only went 11 minutes. Ospreay won. I wanted Shibata to win. So I'm saying the Ops lost here. They lost at and they lost both matches at Double or Nothing. So the Ops have suffered losses. So something's got to give. Ospreay countered the Styles Clash and then hit the Hidden Blade to defeat Shibata. Joe confronted Ospreay after the match and promised consequences. Ospreay said Joe's threats meant nothing. After he almost died in the ring, Ospreay said the Death Riders rebuilt him into a killer, and he vowed to win the world title at Wembley. We're backstage with Cope and Cage, and Cope reflected on the 30-year friendship he has with Christian, and said FTR wanted to kill their connection in an I Quit match, and it won't happen. Christian said people die for choices that they make, and that's what's going to happen to you all at Double or Nothing. Roosh won a squash match, because if you mess with the Bull, you get the horns. At some point, he's got to get this title shot, right? We're pushing Roosh. What's going to happen? The Divine Dominion had their 5-minute challenge, which was answered by Kayla Lopez and El Valentin, and they lasted 3 minutes. Done. Who's going to defeat the Divine Dominion? We got an ESPN featurette on Darby Allin for hype his match at the Double or Nothing, and we move into the main event of the evening with FTR putting the tag team titles on the line against Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. And because of the tag team title match at Double or Nothing, you knew FTR was going to win. There was no stakes in this match. FTR won with the Shatter Machine. Done and done. There it is. We move over to Impact. Santana's on top. The show gets a fist. We opened up with the system and said TNA belonged to them and that no one could stop them. Cedric bragged about ending Leon Slater's dream of becoming the longest reigning X Division champion. Fabian Eichner interrupted, declaring himself a true and future TNA champion, and he fought off the system, unlocked Cedric Alexander his own submission, and the system pulled Cedric Alexander away. Daria Ray told Steve Maclin many wanted him fired for attacking Tom Hannafin. She said she brought him back, and tonight was his chance to win the world title. Maclin stayed silent as she walked off. We go into our next match of the evening, first match of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, which was Indy Hartwell taking on Elena Black. Indy controlled early with strikes and corner offense, till Black knocked Indy down to the floor and applied a chinlock. Indy rallied before Grace interfered. And knocked her off the top rope. The ref called for the DQ. Grace taunted Indy, threw out of the ring, and complained about Ling Yingling getting a title shot. Santino called Grace classless and confronted Stacks. Daria interrupted and ordered Stacks to file an official complaint. What is going on here? We were backstage with the Elegant brand. The group discussed Ash being away for quote-unquote cosmetic work. The lights went out in the dressing room and a lipstick message appeared on the mirror. Said, "See you soon," signed Rosemary, Ali, and Mara Sade. The group got really nervous. I'm assuming Rosemary and Ali are going to be the ones to challenge for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. Our next match of the evening was Matt Hardy taking on Vincent. Jeff and Dutch were handcuffed to opposite ring posts, so no other member would get involved. Matt controlled early until Dutch tripped her from behind the ref's back. Vincent faked an ankle injury that got Matt off guard. The ref was knocked down as the lights went out. Jeff Hardy appeared in the ring as Willow, attacked Vincent. Matt hit the twist of fate, 1, 2, 3, and we have our winner. Willow stood over Vincent before disappearing, and Matt celebrated his fans, chanted delete. Dutch checked on Vincent, so now we have broken Matt Hardy and Willow. The Righteous may have messed up. Backstage with Elijah, he's playing his guitars. He was approached by AJ Francis, and AJ offered to collaborate in music, and Elijah declined, saying a drifter walks alone. AJ warned that he would regret it. This is how the feud starts. Santino announced the Champions Challenge will be returning next week. For those of you that don't know, the Champions Challenge is all the champions are on one side in a tag team, and their challengers are on the opposite side. And if you win, you get a title shot. So Daria interrupted and booked Santino versus Stacks next week, and the system demanded Fabi Eichner next week, but Daria agreed, and we got some tension going down. Ali put the TNA International Championship on the line against he put the title on the line against Chaz Hale. For those of you who don't know, on the independent scene, that's supposed to be Starboy Charlie, but he's at the WWE ID talent, so now he has to go by Chaz Starboy Hall. Stupid. Ultimately, Ali retained with a backslide and the bridge pin. Ali kept his belt. Hall received cheers from the hometown crowd. Ali celebrated with Order 4. There you go. Santino was speaking with Keith Jardine and Marsha Day approaching offer to have Jardine in her corner next week. She said she would offset Mr. Elegance. Eric Young said he and Maclin were destined to cross paths again. He reminded Maclin that Santana tried to take his livelihood. Eric said the winner of tonight will face him next. He told Maclin that this was the biggest choice of his entire life. Maclin just stayed solid. Jada Stone took on Zaya Brookside. Zaya Brookside got the win with the knee kick, followed by the dark side DDT. She posed over Jada as Jada was clutching her knee, and Zaya smirked. She's still going bad. Santana headed to the ring, and Maclin tried to attack him before the match. Security stopped him and broke them apart, which led us into the TNA World Championship match. They traded strikes early and often. Maclin set up a table and targeted Santana's leg. Santana hit the Three Amigos, followed by the Rolling Buck 50 for a 2 count. Maclin hit the caught in the crosshair and a powder for a near fall. Santana shoved Maclin up the top rope through the ringside table, then hit him with a splash and dropped him with the spin, the block, retaining the World Championship. Santana stood tall as Maclin was exhausted, and the crowd cheered, and Maclin maybe is not done with Santana. Over on SmackDown, this was the quote-unquote go-home show for Saturday night's main event. This show gets a thumb down. It's not SmackDown's not a good show, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. We opened up with Rhea, Charlotte, and Flair, and Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa being confronted by Fatal Influence because Rhea had called out Jade Cargill, but Fatal Influence came out as tensions were escalating between Charlotte and Rhea, so we're going to that title match soon. Charlotte challenged any of them to a match later tonight to face her and Alexa Bliss. We were with the MFTs, who are still trying to recruit trying to recruit Royce Keys for their group, and he told them to stay out of his business and Solo questioned his attitude. We got Tonga versus Shinsuke Nakamura next. Tala won with the power slam and then a choke slam for the win. Tonga stopped Solo from spiking Nakamura. What is going on between? So I know Tama Tonga and Shinsuke got history going back to New Japan, but fans don't know that. Tama then hit Nakamura anyway, confusing the crowd. Priest ran out with the chair to make the save. Cody arrived as Otis said he ensured Gunther signed the contract. Sammy offered help and Cody declined, offending Sammy. Sammy complained Otis wasn't giving him any TV time, and Cody returned and challenged Sammy to a match tonight. Tama told Solo that he looked weak and he needed to handle Priest alone. Solo agreed and went to speak with Nick Aldis. Tiffany Stratton put the U.S. Championship on the line in an open challenge, which was answered by Lash Legend. And Lash looked good here. Nia interfered, but Chelsea Green, of all people, neutralized her, and Tiffany won with the roll-up. Lash yelled at Jax for failing to help. Please don't split up Nia and Lash. Trick and Lil Yachty were heading to the ring before Mello. While they were in the ring, Mello interrupted and called out Trick for what it is. You cost me the U.S. title. You're not a champion, and you're always played second fiddle. And we got the title match. Ultimately, good, solid match. Trick won after Ricky Saints distracted Carmelo Hayes, allowing Trick to recover and hit the trick shot. Trick's finisher is ass. The trick shot is ass. His finisher needs to be that spinning boot that he hits, because the trick shot is ass. After the match, we saw Sammy wandering backstage. He was venting to once again the despondent Johnny Gargano. Whatever. we got some fallout for the Brock Lesnar, so having Brock on Monday. And we got our tag team match, which was Rhea and Charlotte taking on Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed, which told me one thing: Rhea and Charlotte were winning, because there was no way Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed were going to beat Rhea and Charlotte. Of course, Charlotte hit the natural selection to get the W after she blind tagged herself in. Rhea hit the riptide, Charlotte blind tagged and hit the natural selection. Bliss tried calming them down, both until BFAP and Michin attacked. Fatal Fluence joined Assault, and Jade dropped Ripley with Jaded. All right, okay. Cody said he understood Sammy's frustrations but needed to hold him accountable. Cody said he'd take care of Sammy tonight. Gunther was shown backstage preparing for something. Jade mocked Fatal Influence and Rhea and Charlotte's chemistry. She said she was the top one in WWE. Michin said they need to dominate at Saturday night's main event. Damian Priest took on Solo Sikoa in a fine match. I want more. Don't forget that Solo and Truth are the tag team champions. Priest avoided the spike, but was caught with it moments later, allowing Solo Sikoa to get the W. Keys ran out to stop the beatdown of the MFT, and Priest grabbed Keys by the throat, not trusting him. Keys said he was trying to help, and Solo told Priest not to trust Keys. What? I don't know what's going on. SmackDown's just bad. Chelsea Green introduced herself to Blake Monroe. So there's Blake Monroe's SmackDown debut. Blake said she wished she didn't know who Chelsea Green was. Nia shoved Green into crates, and Jack said she was making enemies instead of friends. We got Cody in our main event taking on Sami Zayn. Sami knocked Cody out of midair early. Cody hit the Cody Cutter for 2 before Sami knocked him to the announce desk. Cody hit another Cody Cutter for a near fall. Sami hit the Blue Thunder Bomb, the least devastating move in all of the sports entertainment, then applied the figure 4. Gunther interfered with the sleeper, and Sami knocked him off the apron, allowing Cody to hit the crossroads. After the match, Gunther attacked Cody, and Sami watched on. He hesitated helping Cody before walking away, choosing not to help Cody, which was the smart thing to do. Our Saturday night's main event results: the baddies, Jade, Mia, Michin, and B-Fat beat Rhea, Charlotte, and Alexa. All right. So Ruka defeated Becky Lynch by DQ in a very weird and bad match. So was going for the Soul Snatcher, and Becky pushed Jessica Carr in the way, so Jessica got her Soul Snatch. So has not been able to hit a proper Soul Snatcher since coming to the main roster, and she'll get a rematch, and this time with the title on the line against Becky at Clash in Italy. Penta retained against Ethan Page. The Intercontinental Championship was on the line. Brie and Page also retained against the Irresistible Forces. The women's tag team titles were on the line. The Vision ended up defeating the Street Profits, retaining the World Tag Team Championships. That was a really, really fun match. Our matches of the week, obviously, it's a very AEW heavy matches of the week. From Dynamite, Mark Briscoe versus Ciampa and the Anything Goes match. From New Japan, Best of Super Juniors, Master Wato versus Kosei Fujita. From Impact, Mike Santana, Steve Maclin for the TNA World Championship. One match from WWE. Saturday's main event, the World Tag Team Championship match with the Vision defending against the Street Profits. And of course, Double or Nothing. We have Copeland Christian versus FTR and the I Quit Street Fight for the AEW Men's World Tag Team Championship. Takeshita, Okada for the International Championship. Probably my favorite match of the entire show. Ospreay and Joe and Swerve and Strickland versus Bandido and their respective Owen Hart quarterfinal matches. The Stadium Stampede match, which was just hampered by some of the rules that New York has, but it was still a very, very fun and exciting match. And of course, the main event, MJF Darby Allin title versus hair. But that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wait, sorry, the stars of the week. Almost forgot that. Takeshita, Copeland, Cage, and MJF for becoming champions, all at Double or Nothing. But that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the socials and what we got on the screen. Socials are Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube. Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram. And of course, the 215 on Twitter. I see you this Saturday for the newest episode of the High Res Wrestling Podcast, where we preview Clash in Italy. Peace.